You know, the really the difference between the wall style of building and these cairns is fairly consistent, I would say.
Yep.
I mean, the only way you can figure this stuff out is to just start actually doing something. So we're in here digging the base of this wall to see how deep it goes.
Okay.
Here we are, guys. We're over here.
That's why I dug that.
Investigating this amazing stone wall. We have another video of it where we walk it, and it's more like in the winter so you can see it, but this wall is unbelievable. We've found sections of this wall, the same wall, except not as nice. Like the capstone you can see is all intact. But yeah, we found another section of this wall down the parkway a bit, and it is deconstructed, but
same wall that we have no way to prove that.
Yeah, it's a big wall. We followed about 2 miles of it, and it's pretty epic. So here's what we decided to do today. Decided to come out here and start digging, right?
Yep.
I mean, the only way you can figure this stuff out is to just start actually doing something. So we're in here digging the base of this wall to see how deep it goes, to get some kind of idea on maybe if we can get an idea on whether or not what the age is. The going story out here is that the Scotch-Irish crossed the Blue Ridge. They came to the Blue Ridge in 1740 and settled in here. So, you know, the going idea is that the Scotch-Irish built these walls for hog fences, which our idea is that that's completely ridiculous. That's some expensive hogs. I mean, we've gone 2 miles of this wall, and but this is the most pristine section. So anyway, we're just testing our hypothesis here by doing some digging, and so what we figured out so far, as you guys can see, we got this rock here. Obviously, it has not been, you know, bowled over. It hasn't been. I mean, the wall hasn't been built on top of it. You can see there's a rock slid in next to it, and so this is a good rock to dig at. And we're on the top of the mountain right now, so the erosion is not really a thing.
You're not talking about a bunch of dirt pouring down off the top of the mountain onto this.
Yeah, we're talking about possibly like this would be built up from tree limbs and debris that would rot here. So, you know, this rock wall is supposed to be no older than 250 years old, which is pretty old. But, you know, the fact is that these guys did not dig a foundation. They didn't dig a hole and put this rock wall in there. I mean, they were living up on top of the mountain in the 1750s trying to survive. I mean, it's jungle out here. It's freezing in the winter. And they're building this massive stone wall to house their hogs for miles. So, I don't know. It just seems kind of weird. Alright guys, so just a little update here. We've now gone down, I don't know, I mean, we're about a foot deep now into the soil up here. And we decided to go over here and make a second hole just to make sure. You know, we don't want to assume that for some reason, even though it does look like these were definitely placed here, there's smaller rocks. It's not like building over a big rock or something. And you know, this face almost looks like it's been sort of broken off. But yeah, we're down about a foot, so we decided we had to hike back to the car and get the big guns out, because we got to get to the bottom of this literally. And so we're digging. We got a second one going over there. So just a little update. We're down here now. I've gone through like probably a few inches of this now. Kind of clay material down there, and still you can see that wall is still down in there. So let me see if I can get so let's see. All right, so
yeah, I'd say so.
I think we might have hit the bottom of the wall. Let's go down in here a little bit. So down there, you can see it. You can see where it's exposed and where it's buried underground. It's pretty crazy, man. I don't know what to make of it. I mean, could this amount of dirt have been piled up? Could they have dug a foot, you know, a foot deep, a foot plus deep in there before they laid this miles and miles of wall? All right, so we're gonna make a wrap at this hole, fill it back in. But very peculiar to think that in, say, 1800, the slaves built these walls. Not to say that they couldn't, obviously. They're more than capable of building walls like this. But to also dig a foot deep footers on each, you know, on the entire run, when we've seen 2 foot, I mean, we've walked 2 miles of this wall. So, anyway, we'll leave it up to you to make your decision. What do you think? All right, so a little bonus from this site are these, there's these cairns and kind of stacked rocks. And let me kind of walk back a little bit so you can see. But that's what we're talking about. So, you know, the difference between the wall style of building and these cairns is fairly consistent, I would say. These scalloped things, and this is obviously not a pile of rocks. You have these placed in a certain fashion because they're all sitting upright and they're scalloped. They're sitting on this rock. Somebody did it for a purpose. Could have been a fun Sunday activity, I guess, for some guy. But you could see the construction here when we go, because this one's blown out from a tree or something, but you can see sort of how they're laid. Here's another one just down the way. We're just hitting, there's about 3 of them. There's one through the trees there. That's where we're headed next. But yeah, here's another one. Same kind of construction, but definitely like the whole thing has been taken down or knocked down. And just this little thing is remaining here. You know, same thing. All right. So we're on the wall still, but here's the 3rd one on the way down back to the car. And there's another cairn. Obviously the rocks have been pretty well, you know, hit, but you can still see the scalloped way that they built it. Same exact way they built these walls. Now, this is also insane because you see this wall going up. Watch this, it's going to make a bend right there. It's hard to see in the video and come around. And this cairn is right where it makes this bend in the wall. And as I come over here, which we'll walk over to in a second, there's this on the other side. So this does not look to be a wall. It's too fat. We'll show it to you when we walk around there. But same scalloped design, not just a random pile of rocks, right? So here's the way the wall turns around here. Pretty spectacular. All right, so we are coming up to that section I was talking about where the wall bends, and we're on the other side. And see, it's so beautiful. Wow. And nobody comes up here, so I don't know. But here's that thing I was talking to you about. It's not a wall. In fact, you can see how it's kind of, the center of it is almost hollow in the end, and it fattens out there. And then there's this little walking gap in between the wall and this thing. So see that? It's almost hollow at the face and it splays out a little bit. Maybe not crazy severely from the rest of the wall, but anyway, just ends here. Maybe somebody blew it out. I don't know. I don't know what that is. But yeah, so if you get on top of it, you can see it's like just this chunk, and it goes up there and it's all beautifully stacked. You know, you would never, maybe at like Lowe's or something, you'd stack it up like that, maybe, I don't know, but not up here on the top of this mountain up here. I don't think you wouldn't just stack it like that. So, but maybe I'll let you guys decide about that.